So what I'm trying to do is take a solar and battery powered LED star and use a drone to fly it up and place it on top of that pine tree just in time for Christmas. Unfortunately, I procrastinated and I don't have a lot of time, so we don't have a lot of room for error. Alright, I figured the easiest way to get this done in a short amount of time would be to go on Amazon and see if I can find anything that gets me most of the way there. So I found this Light Me Solar light bulb that comes with a solar panel, and supposedly it looks like it's got a battery and a solar panel, and it powers a light, and it's will last 8 hours during the nighttime and charge during the day. And at the time that I ordered it, I thought it had the built-in electronics that would allow you to have it automatically turn on and off based on light levels, but it later turned out that wasn't the case. But anyway, and then the only thing I was missing was the star, so I went ahead and ordered this King LED star, and it looked like it was a decent size, and I thought it might look good up on the tree. So that's what I went ahead and ordered, and the goal was basically to gut the two and connect them in a way that the LED panel was charging the battery that was built into this, and then I would run that battery instead of to the LEDs on the bulb. I would run them straight to the star. So that's the plan right now. Okay, one of the things I bought was this little LED light. So it's a string of LED lights. There's like 50 of them. But the thing is, they're connected via USB for power. And the reason for that is because it comes with this little remote, and it looks like you can change all kinds of lighting settings. But I don't think I need this. I already have the solar panel with a built-in, I think it's 2500 milliamp battery, which runs to just the output. So I think what I'm gonna do is, rather than trying to wire this power and ground up to this USB, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut this guy off here and wire the power straight to the lights. That way I can string the lights around my star, and then this guy automatically has a setting in there, or a sensor, where when it's daytime, it charges and turns the power off, and when it's nighttime, it obviously doesn't get any sun, so it doesn't charge, and it triggers the LEDs to come on. So at sunset, my star lights will come on, and at sunrise, they'll turn off and start charging. So I'm gonna try hooking the lights straight up to the power source and see what we get. When I measured the voltage off of this guy, it was measuring like 2 volts when there was no light on it, but if I turned this light on here, I was getting a solid 5 volts. So I'm not really sure about that. Maybe the battery's just really low, and I need to get it charged up first before I can get my 5 volts out of this, but I'm gonna hook it up and we'll see how it goes. All right, so you can see that. Maybe if we turn off some lights, if we touch the power here, we do get light. But that is incredibly dim light. That's horrible. So maybe this isn't gonna work, this string of lights, or maybe this battery is not high enough voltage. I will need to look into this a little bit further. All right, when hooked up to USB, it's significantly brighter, as you can see. And that's just, I believe USB is just 5 volts. So that battery must just be charged up, and hopefully I'm gonna get the same brightness once that battery is fully charged. So I'm gonna go check that out now and get that charged up. The star I bought was this guy, this little wooden thing, but as you can see, it's just not very big. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger until it showed up, so I'm not going to use this because out on my pine tree, it's just not going to look too big, too distinct. So I'm going to throw that out, and instead I just went out to the garage and I just grabbed some electrical wire, and I cut off these pieces here and bent them, and I'm just going to turn this into a star. And to connect it all up, as you can see here, I just cut the corners, and I'm gonna solder them together. So basically I'll do something like this. Let's do it on the floor here. Like so. And then I also went, oh, there you go. And I also went and then hot glued all over the place, like through the center. I haven't cleaned that up yet, but I just globbed some hot glue on all the different pieces. So to throw it down, that's about how it looks. And then now I need to go ahead and get the lights all strung up around it, and we'll see how it looks. The remote here, which looks like I can do all kinds of different stuff with it, but that's only because it's using the USB. So unless I wire up my battery to a female USB to power it with the 5 volt and ground on the outside ports, I won't have this remote option. But I think I might, considering keeping the remote, just because it might be nice to be able to go out and turn it off and on demand, and also set like a timer and whatnot. So I might end up trying this out, but I'll need to go find a female USB to wire up to, or attach my battery directly to the ports. Maybe I'll solder directly into that. But we'll see. This is kind of cool. And it's plenty bright enough when it's powered off the USB, so I'm hoping my battery will do the same. Okay, so I was clearly confused on the setup of the LED bulb that I bought. After messing with it a bit, I realized a few things. The solar panel is only a solar panel which has no internal battery or smart components. It just takes the sunlight and supplies 0 to 5 volts out depending on the light. The bulb, on the other hand, has the built-in batteries. Also, there's no smart functionality to it at all. It doesn't detect whether or not it's receiving a charge, in other words, night or day cycles. It just gets charged up, and when you push a button on the back, it turns on and off the bulb. So that's not what I want. I don't want the star to be on all the time. I can't get up there and press the button. So I can still try to salvage this and wire up the solar panel to the batteries and have the batteries power the LED star through the USB since it receives 5 volts. So I just need to get a 5 volt out to the USB dongle and then find a way to make that also charge the battery. All right, we've got our two 18650 batteries run in parallel, and that's going to provide up to 4.2 volts into the board on the voltage in. And then from there, we've got this guy plugged into USB, which runs over to our solar panel, which should, if I hold it up like that and I go to the board, see the blue light is on, move it out of the way, the blue light's off. So that is going to charge the battery during the day, and then at night, of course, the star is going to be running and it's not going to be charging. And then so off of the voltage out, that's going to provide straight battery voltage, so that's 4.2. But we've got that running to this little USB port, this little USB dongle, which runs on 5 volts at 500 milliamps. So obviously that 4.2 is not going to power it reliably. So what we've done is put in this Plulu step-up voltage regulator. So this steps it up from 4.2 to 5 volts, like 5.01 at, sacrificing a little bit of amperage, which then powers this guy, which then powers the lights on the star. And it's programmable. There's all kinds of cool stuff. And then we've got this remote here, which I should be able to use remotely to both turn on and off the star at my will. But also there's a timer function which runs on a 24-hour timer. I think runs 8 hours on, 16 hours off. So I should be able to set it so it turns on at around sunset and kicks off sometime in the middle of the night, and then will remain off until the sun comes up, when it will start charging for the next day. And hopefully the idea is that it will charge up more during the day than it uses at night, and it'll store it in this battery. This little board here, the whole purpose of it is called a battery babysitter from SparkFun. And what it does is it just makes sure that the battery doesn't get over discharged or overcharged, and it allows you to charge your battery and use it at the same time. And so you see these little dip switches here allow you to set the charge rate. So it's just like a little helper that allows me to manage the battery. And then there's a bunch of like input outputs over here. If I want to hook it up to a Raspberry Pi to get the data to power a screen to show me the voltage and the current draw and all that fun stuff, but we're not going to mess with that. So here we have it. Right now I've got it hooked up, and what I'm testing is I want to see the voltage draw over an extended period of time. Here's the voltage at 4.15 volts, and I've got it all hooked up, and I'm actually going to keep it off, and I'm going to make sure that my worry is that this thing in the off state still consumes power to leave it, so it can respond to this IR remote. If it consumes too much power, it's going to put a drain on the battery all day long, maybe more so than the solar panel can charge it, in which case this battery is going to be depleted over a couple days, and then it's not going to be worth a damn, because I can't climb the tree every couple days to recharge the battery. So we'll see. I've had this guy out here charging for a couple days now, just down here, squeezing everything into a little an old motor box to see if this thing would charge. It says right now the blue light signifies charging, so it should. I mean, honestly, it's been a few days with no draw on this battery. There's no reason it shouldn't be fully charged. So I'll take it inside and see if it's charged up. So after sitting on the sun for a couple days, as you saw it, I checked the voltage on this battery, and it's actually at 3.91, which was less than when I started it. So I don't believe that the solar panel that I purchased really has any ability to charge these batteries. I wish I would have tested it with the bulb that it came with before mangling it, because I believe that even that wouldn't have been charged properly as advertised. They said, you know, put it in the sun for a day and the batteries will be fully charged. I don't think that's true. I should have tested it before cutting it all apart, but it's junk. It was 12 or 13 bucks or something, so not a big deal. But this plan is definitely not going to work. It's not going to be able to charge this battery in a way that the light can be on at night and recharge during the day. So maybe next year I will opt for a more expensive, higher quality solar panel that I know is going to charge these batteries to leave the light on throughout the night. So I'm scrapping that plan. I'm gonna have to go with something a little different. Since the other star is not gonna work because it doesn't charge fast enough, I think I'm instead just going to go with a powered solution and skip the whole the batteries and the solar charging and all the fun stuff. So instead, we're just gonna go with powered solution. And I figure if I'm gonna go with the powered solution, I might as well go with something a little bit bigger with more lights, since I already got the power running to it and I don't have to worry about that. So instead, what I built is this guy. I went to Home Depot and grabbed the tomato cage and then some of these like garden stakes, and then I just cut those down and made a much bigger star. It's probably like 4 times as large as my previous star, and then I took 2 strands of 50 LED lights and then kind of snaked them around the star. So the plan is to fly this guy up with a extension cable running from one of these ends here, and then land it up on top of that tree. And hopefully the tomato cage is big enough and just the right size that it'll sit on top of that tree and keep the star upright without it falling down and causing a disaster. Took my mini quad club 6-inch frame here, and I basically just cut a hanger and zip tied it to the bottom here. And the plan would be that this guy would hook, let me come in here, hook, and it will pick up the tomato cage just fine. Carry it up there and place it atop that tree, but we'll see how it goes. I don't even know if this running 5S will pick up this amount of weight. I'm not sure how much it weighs. It's not too heavy, but it's probably at least like, I don't know, 5 pounds, so we'll see how it goes. It sounds like it's dying. Alright, it turned out it was way too hard to hook the drone with that little hanger being so close to the drone. I mean, you only had about 4 inches of margin for error before you were getting your props all on the lights. Also, I had the issue of, because the tree was so closely attached to the drone, as it swung around, it was completely throwing the drone around. So I figured if I extended the tree away from the drone with, say, like an 8-foot rope, that not only would it give me an easier time connecting the drone to the tree, it would also give me a lot longer distance between the two, which would allow the tree to swing a little bit and not have such an impact on the drone. I just ate that entire battery up. Obviously that drone's not going to cut it. There's no way that it's going to be able to carry the entire star up there with the tomato cage on the bottom and maneuver it in a controlled way that I can feel confident that I can set it on top of that tree straight and get it down safely. So I'm phoning a friend here. I'm calling in Carl Ruggles. He goes by Overkill, and hopefully he's going to provide the Overkill today. So he's bringing an X-Class drone. I have confidence that Carl's X-Class drone is going to be enough to carry this sucker to the top of the tree in a safe way, in a controlled way, and we're going to get the job done. We've only got 2 days till Christmas, so it's got to happen. All right, we've got the X-Class 3300 6S 13-inch props here, and this should be more than enough to carry this guy up to the top of the tree. We will. Unfortunately, I don't have video of what happened next. So we set up horizon mode on the X-Class drone and we armed it, and one of his motors wasn't spinning up properly. We did eventually get into the air, but with horizon mode enabled, it was oscillating all over in a way that I did not feel in control. After trying to fix it for a bit and not having much luck, I had to call a no-go on the operation. With vehicles, houses, power lines, and a road nearby, I didn't have any confidence that I'd be able to safely place the star on the top of the tree and get the drone landed safely. What I really needed to get the job done was a heavy lift drone with a GPS module. That would have enabled me to focus less on flying and more on positioning the star on the top of the tree and getting it down. Unfortunately, with just a day until Christmas and everyone being busy, I didn't have anyone who could get a drone here in time to get the star put on the top of the tree. So this is going to have to wait until next year. My plan for next year is to get my own heavy lift GPS drone built that I'm going to be able to use. I hate to end the video this way, but unfortunately the star was not placed on the tree prior to Christmas. And sadly, it looks like it's not going to happen until next year when I have the opportunity to build my own heavy lift GPS hold drone that I can safely use to get this job done. Hopefully you at least found my attempts entertaining. And if you enjoy my drone adventures and want to see more, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.